everybody, I'm Jess and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I am starting this channel to share toy recommendations, play ideas and crafts with you on here so that I can explain things in a longer form rather than just on Instagram. So if you're interested, I'd love for you to subscribe and follow along. I'll be sharing a video a week to start with, and that will include the first video, which is this one. This one's going to be about my top 5 Grimm's toys that we have bought and found that we use the most. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and I'd love for you to subscribe and follow along. First one I'm going to talk about is the rainbow. This is probably one of the most controversial Grimm's toys and it's heavily debated as to whether this is well played with or not. In our house I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I have to say, like, it's been played with a lot in our house. So they use it to build all sorts of things. Their favourite things are tunnels and bridges at the moment because they are still quite young, but my 3-year-old has just started using them to build zoos and all sorts of like enclosures. He's also used it for lots of ball runs as well with our help. So I think it's a really, really good purchase, and as it on its own, it's actually a really good toy. I thought initially that I would need the semicircles and the wooden boards to go with this, but you don't really. They will play with this as much as possible. My top tip is when you get this, don't store it like this. Take it apart and put it into a basket, because then they use it more as building blocks rather than as a rainbow. Because sometimes children, when they first get this, they find it really difficult to know what to do with it. So yeah, I would say that this is a really good first purchase. They are pricey, but honestly, the quality is really, really good. Like, you can understand why they're expensive, and I can see that I will have this for years, decades, for my grandchildren. So to me, it's worth the money. You can quite often get them on discount with like 10% off, so they are about £60, but it is really worth it. They're really big, and yes, they do get scratched and sort of dented. That is what happens with all Grimm's toys, so don't be surprised. It's like a rough texture, but that's what makes it easy to build with. So highly recommend this one if you are looking for your first Grimm's purchase. There are so many toys in the collection, it's really hard to choose what first. And when I was looking, I really struggled to find something that said, what should I buy first? Okay, next up we have the cars. These convertible cars are really, really great toys. These are the single carriage ones. You can also get double 2-seater cars as well. And they come with a person, which I think is really good value for money. These are £13 and the double cars are £16, I think. So really, really good value for money. And these fit both Grimm's and Grappat people. So if you do have Grappat stuff, it all works together. So I think it's good value. These are great. They are suitable sort of from 8 months because these are really big, and so is this. And your 8-month-old might like pushing it along. And then as they get older, they will play with it in small world situations. So we found that these get played with all the time, even without other Grimm's products. So they might get played with kinetics or Duplo. But yeah, we really like the fact that the Grimm's people don't have a face. So it means that it can be anybody, which is great. Like, if your child has a favourite character, it can be that character. They don't have to have lots of different characters, if that makes sense. So yeah, really recommend these. They're really sturdy, they're not going to break, and I think you'll get a lot of use out of these. My next recommendation is for 11 months plus, and you would think that this is just a stacker and it doesn't do much else. So once they've mastered the stacking, what would they do with it? But I've actually found this is played with least as a stacker and more with the round discs for imaginative play. So the stacker comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces, and the bottom bit. The top bit doesn't have a hole, so they always know that that's the top. And then obviously they can stack it, and that's going to be the first skill that they will master. My 1-year-old is still stacking this out of order, but obviously as they grow they should be able to stack it in size order. But what I really like about this toy is the discs themselves are really great to play with, so you can make patterns, you can do all sorts of things with them, flowers, whatever you want, and they're so sturdy. I found my 1-year-old plays with these the most with his large step pyramid, which we'll go on to next, to make small worlds. He quite often uses this one as like a hot tub or a swimming pool, so I'd really recommend this stacker. The only thing I would say is this can be a little bit dangerous, the actual base. So if they are using them just as discs, maybe take this away, especially if you've got little ones, because I think this can be quite dangerous. But when supervised, it's perfectly fine, and my little ones love stacking this. Even my 3-year-old still stacks this. So I would say this is a really good investment, and these are around £30. So it's a great gift idea. So if somebody asks me for a gift, I'd 100% recommend this. And what I really like about this stacker is, as opposed to the plastic stackers that you can get, this one you can use in lots of different ways, so you don't get one use out of them, if that makes sense. We've had a plastic stacker in the past, and it's literally just used for that, so by the time they're sort of 14, 15 months, they're bored of it. So I think this is worth the money based on that fact alone. It's a heavy one. So this is my favourite out of the 5 that I'm going to show you. This is called the large step pyramid. There's 100 blocks in total, which is a lot of blocks. And you can buy these cubes separately. And I was recommended these cubes, I think it's the Thigram's 36 cubes, as the first toy to buy for my little one, my 1-year-old. But I would say don't do that. Go for this straight away. It is about £130, which is a lot of money. But there's 100 blocks, and wooden blocks are expensive. I mean, any wooden block is expensive. So if you're going to go for them, then you may as well invest in these. You can get the natural ones as well, which are really nice, but we just have the coloured ones. We already had the rainbow in colours, so we decided to go with them. They're so sturdy, these blocks, and what I find is most blocks are painted, or they are in like a sort of shiny coating. These are really rough textured. You can probably hear that. They do get dented and marked, as I said before, but for building purposes, you're going to want to get these. Like, you can stack them so easily that your 1-year-old is not going to be immediately defeated that they can't stack them. So I'd really recommend that you get these. You can stack them so easily, and you can build so many things with these. My 3-year-old absolutely loves them. My 1-year-old absolutely loves them. They are played with every day. They use them for small world. They use them for, well, everything. They use them for roads. They use them for houses. They use them just for the sake of building. Honestly, you can use these for so many things, and you will not regret it if you buy this. When I posted on the Baby Pure Hangout, and if you're not part of that, it's really helpful if you're new to buying wooden toys. This was like 100% the number 1 toy that they recommended, and I was really umming and ahhing because it is so expensive for a while, but I would 110% recommend this toy. So the last one is an interesting one. There's loads of other sets that are great, and it was really hard for me to choose just 5, but this is the last one, and I think it will be a surprise to you. So this one is just the wooden boards. They are planks of wood, and as my husband said, why have you just bought planks of wood? And I think they are about £40. It's quite a lot, but these are really, really well played with. You'll be surprised. I got the natural colour ones because I just thought they're a bit more open-ended for boards rather than the coloured ones. I felt that they might not use them so much for roads which is what they're used for a lot. So what do we use these for? Roads, ramps, roofs on houses. We also use them for floors. We use them for stacking and making trees. We use them for so many different things. And slides on a playground, trying to think, slides on a playground, paths, everything. So I would say that these are one of our best investments, as well as the large step pyramid. And you can make loads of bridges with the large step pyramid and this. So although they look really boring, we have these out all the time and the kids love them. They're not bored by them. So I'd really, really recommend them. So that's the end of my first ever YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a like and a comment if you would like to know a bit more about Grimm's products. I'll be more than happy to answer. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing as well, that really helps me to know whether this is the kind of content you want on this channel. And I'm hoping to grow it so that I can share more toy recommendations, play ideas and tips. Thank you for watching.